Where even in the hell are we at this point? I don't know, but we're back on Smells Like 90s Rock. It's Sheila, Hot Toddy, and DJ Pork. I guess we're in the middle of the 1 o'clock hour. I don't know.
Something like that. We're on the third segment, right?
We are, yeah. Sure. That's where we are.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Yeah. There that was.
I did the rockin' thing with my hands.
If that's what you want to call that.
It's, you know what, it probably was a zombie reaction. It's probably something that I picked up after dying.
Yep. I think you did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for you to accept your zombiehood.
And I'm waiting for you to realize that you sound just as crazy as the Parler conspiracy people. You do. You sound like MeWe. You sound like me. You sound like MeWe and conspiracy and Parler. MeWe and Parler.
That's just what a zombie would say.
Uh-huh. You're MeWe. You should go on MeWe. Should say what Pork's brother said. I'm going to MeWe. Holla.
I'm going to MeWe.
Holla. You gotta add on holla. Holla.
I will not be censored.
I will not be censored even though I'm on television. National television. International television.
And the fact that people don't know that, like, you have no rights on the internet, I still find hilarious.
Right.
I don't know. My favorite statistic for the last 2 weeks, though, is that since Trump lost his Twitter account, that like disinformation has dropped by like 73%.
Isn't that amazing?
I did think that it was a little shady of Biden, because like one of the very first things he did was send out a tweet that was like, we're going to take on the coronavirus. And you know he was just doing that to be like, look who the president has Twitter again.
Yeah. Look at that.
Just like, I know you're following me, Donald.
Like, no, because he knows that, like, Fox News is going to pick that up right away. Like, the president tweeted, because, I mean, that's where they get their content is from Twitter. So he knows that it's going to come out to him. And Melania's still on Twitter.
Yeah. Don's like, hey, Melania, let me use your Twitter. I got something to say.
There's another thing that, like, I had secondhand embarrassment was, like, her goodbye speech. Where she's like, everyone just keep trying to be best. And I was like, like, I wanted to just, like...
Honey, it's like, honey, you're married to the biggest bully in the country.
I know, I just, like, wanted to protect this person, like, from their own embarrassment. I can't help it. It's so ingrained in me, the secondhand embarrassment, that, like, even for people who are just disgusting, I'm like, oh, please stop. Like, what can I do?
Well, I think that's the worst thing about her is I felt sorry for her through most of this, but towards the end, I was like, you're just as big a part of this as he is.
You know, yeah, especially, like...
I laughed. I had fun at her expense every time on Christmas, though. I'm not going to lie.
Well, she did something stupid every year. It was easy to do.
Maybe in Russia, wherever she's from, they don't have Christmas.
Well, I mean, wasn't like the first year they had like these blood red Christmas trees?
Blood red Christmas trees, and it looked awful. And then she didn't she like tear up or tear down the garden that.
Yes,
that Jackie Kennedy. Yeah. Like it's like the collateral damage from this administration.
And I can't wait until a report comes out that, like, the Trump stole, like, White House.
He stole, like, a bust of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, like, things that are, like...
Wait, that's for real?
I saw...
Still loading up.
Did you see, like, the moving van? You see, like, a White House aide just walking out with, like, a bust of Abraham Lincoln.
Are you serious?
Like, yeah. Yes! There's going to be a report, I promise you, where they're like...
Like, you can't just take that. Like,
yeah. This stuff's not up for grabs, Don.
But that's like one of the most New York things, because the real estate agents in New York said that they're having a problem because they'll show like somebody's apartment and they'll have like high technology like toilets or like these really awesome showers or whatever.
That's high technology toilets?
Yeah. Like, no, that's what part of the article I read. The person was talking about how, like, this person had, like, self-flushing heated seat toilets. So when they were showing the apartment, they kept showing everyone these super awesome toilets. Well, they sold the apartment, and the person moved out, and when the person moved in, there were just, like, plain toilets there. And they were so upset because they were shown the toilets. But, like, that's a problem in New York of people, like, they didn't take the toilet out completely. They just took their high technology toilet. Like a problem in New York of people.
Who took my fancy toilet? Damn it!
Yeah, people just like stripping their apartment down to the bare bones before they move out. And that's like what Trump was doing. He's like, well, I mean, it sat on my table for 4 years. So this was
my house for 4 years. I can take anything I want. If I wanted to take the Lincoln bed, I would. Believe me, I could do it.
Yeah. And he probably left behind like an Lincoln bobblehead. So like the point is like you don't rob it. You leave something that's just like way less.
I feel bad for Biden because what if he comes across like a forgotten pair of underwear or something? You know.
Especially since like the White House staff only had 9 hours to disinfect the house from when Trump moved out and Biden moved.
If you find some underwear in the Oval Office, that place is gonna have to be quarantined for 2 weeks.
'Cause 9 hours just does not feel like enough time for someone like Trump to be removed.
No, especially he brought coronavirus into the White House.
I think if I were a politician and I made it all the way to the White House, like I would move in with a suitcase and just live off of whatever the White House had.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even be moving my own stuff in. I would just be like,
well, here's the thing. I've always been like, why do you need to like quote move into the White House? Just bring some suits. That's all you wear. It's suits.
Bring your clothes and like
that's what I'm saying. You don't even need clothes. You just need a suit and your pajamas, and that's it.
But I wonder what Ivanka, Trump, and Jared are going to do now.
Dancing with the Stars.
Mm.
Yeah, that's always an option.
Yeah.
My brother and I have a $5 bet. Who do you think is going to run for president first? Trump Jr. or Ivanka?
Trump Jr. Trump Jr. hands down.
I'd say Trump Jr. Who will be successful first, though? I would say Ivanka.
No, the GOP backing a woman. They don't care who it is, please.